What's up, Liverpool friends? Welcome to the collaboration of Yanks of the Kop and the Kopite Podcast. We are your hosts, Steve, Wahomie, Jay, and Mick, and we are here to break down the Champions League preview coming this week. Liverpool versus Leipzig, second leg. Liverpool are up 2-0. Lads, Wahomie, how you doing? Jay and Mick, love you guys. So happy we're finally doing our collaboration. How is everybody feeling right now?
There's a game of football to watch. Another one. Yay!
That is literally it. It's like, I don't know if you've seen that meme where it's like still getting over a game of footy, and it's like, but we want to give you some more footy. That's kind of how it feels. But I feel like having a different change of competition feels a bit nicer. I think that's the nicest way I can put it. It feels like it's going to be a bit of a change from the shit we've been putting up with lately.
Yeah, I have to echo that. It just I felt like terrible after that Fulham game, and it took me a while to get over that. And just feel like hopefully the Champions League can be a welcome distraction, because I feel like the players and Klopp are just done with the Premiership today. So that's what it feels like. So hopefully the Champions League can rally the whole club together, and we can go on some kind of run.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like obviously I have to drink a beer now to get through these things. So number one, there we go. But yeah, man, I just feel like having a 2-0 lead going into the second leg makes me feel okay. But if this was tied, a 1-goal lead, I'd be shitting my pants right now. But I know Homie and I went off on a nice long rant yesterday, so I'm really interested to hear Jay and Mick. How are you guys feeling after that performance yesterday against Fulham?
Go on, Mick.
Yeah, just really got myself up for it with the lineup Klopp put out it was a surprise, but then I was thinking, is it for the best, because it's some fresh legs in there, and then it's like you're watching the game and it's just like there's no freshness, there's no cohesion, there's no nothing at the minute. They've just kind of lost what we had, because combination of injuries and a combination of everyone lacking in confidence, dips in form, not trusting. Like when Liverpool are at the best, they're on autopilot, and me and Jay have said it loads. Like, you just were overthinking every single pass, every chance to close a player down isn't grasped with two hands the way it usually is. It's like a half step behind what we're so used to. So, I mean, it can only get better, surely. I mean, for that Fulham game, the Chelsea game, we got battered on our own pitch, and again against Fulham, they were really good in that game, so they deserve to win. But we need to just back to basics, just start pressing the ball and just being as cohesive as we can. That's all we can do. That's the basics that you want, and we're not doing that at the moment, and that's what's really worrying for me.
Yeah, I can't really top what Mick said. Really, it's so deflating. That's the only word I could think of to add to what Mick said. All them defeats in a row at home is just it's nothing any of us have seen in our lifetimes. It's absolutely baffling, and the answers are out there. We need to find them. We need to start finding them quickly, because, like you said, Steve, we're already up in the tie against Leipzig, but that could easily fucking change. We're not playing at home, which is great. Thank God for that.
Thank God.
Yeah, so it's a welcome distraction right now, the Champions League, absolutely. So it's let's get them patches back on the sleeves. Let's get that Champions League anthem, and let's start focusing trying to get to Istanbul again.
Hey, Brian, good to see you from London, man. From Dublin, man. We appreciate you. But go ahead, Wahomie. What do you think?
I just think they could it like precisely there. It just. I think I was with the opposite. When I saw that lineup, I saw that as Klopp throwing the towel for the top four, personally, because I felt like I just obviously don't understand him picking that team if we were serious about top four. But then when I wake up today and I was thinking about it, I think because we had Ginny and Robbo playing, so I did think if he was resting them for the Champions League, why were those two playing? Because those are like two players who have probably been like the most in our team sheets week in, week out. So, that made me kind of think maybe it was him just trying to freshen it up, but it was a massive gamble. So I hope we see obviously the right lineup for Wednesday, and we don't see like a lineup that's going to surprise us, because we need to go as strong as possible in that game.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that the thing that's been driving me nuts about our recent form, even going back to like December, is that it seems like nobody is enjoying themselves out on the pitch anymore. Obviously, I'm sure the lack of fans goes into that, but I've just never seen this Liverpool team with these players. Just the moment something goes wrong, it just completely collapses. You know, we've been known as the mentality monsters. We've been known as the guys that backs against the walls actually when we're at our best. And it seems like something's happened. I don't know if we've just become front runners or what it is, but no one's enjoying themselves anymore. And like you said, Mick, you know, when I saw the lineup, I was actually kind of excited. I was like, okay, like maybe guys who are actually hungry and want an opportunity are going to go out there and bust their ass. And again, it was just more of the same. And the biggest thing for me, and I've said it a few times on this show, on Yanks of the Cop, was we have no leadership right now. You know, people talk about, you know, Genie Wijnaldum and being pissed off with him having the captain's band, and it should be Salah. But like, name one thing that Salah has done over the past month that has proved that he should wear the captain's band. Like, other than being our leading goal scorer, he really hasn't done anything at all. And like, he hasn't. Like, I've been waiting for one guy to just pick the team up by the neck and say, "No one else is going to do it. I'm going to do it." And I haven't seen one person on this team do that. Especially, we have no vocal leadership. And I thought Milner last game, like, I thought he was going to provide more of a leadership role. I don't think he really did that. So, like, I mean, do you guys agree with Wahomey? Do you think the lineup last game really showed that we are just throwing in the towel for the top four?
I wouldn't think it's necessarily thrown in the towel. I think you've hit the nail on the head with trying to freshen it up, put fresh legs in, fresh ideas. Like Holmes said, you know, someone chomping at the bit to get out on that pitch and try and make a difference. I think that's what it was. But he has got one eye on this tie, and you know, maybe 3/4 of his other eye is on the tie as well, because that is our best chance now of silverware. So I don't think Klopp would ever concede of throwing in the top four, because you know, we look at it from a positive perspective. There's not that much difference in points wise compared to where we are. Do you know what I mean? I know the teams around us have got games in hand. I know that, but the way this league has proved this year, anybody can beat anybody. So the results can easily go in our favour. Again, we've just got to make sure that we fucking do our bloody job. You know, so and that's the thing that I always cling on to, is the fact that we've got an international break coming up, which is great. You know, I've never thought I'd ever be grateful for an international break. One, you know, we don't have to suffer with Liverpool losing because of nothing be happening. Two, we don't have to do podcasts for a week, which is great, because I'm sick of being miserable. Yep. You know, so but it gives everybody that respite, doesn't it? And that's what everybody needs at the minute. So I don't think it's thrown in the towel. I don't think top four's gone just yet, because the gap isn't as big as what, you know, it could be if results hadn't gone our way for the other teams. It's just we've failed to do our job. So in essence, when you look at it, we're actually quite lucky that it hasn't gone yet. What do you think, Mick?
I agree. I mean, after that Fulham game, I was thinking like that's it now. I mean, in me absolutely pissed off mood, I was like, fuck it, fuck everything. I can't be asked anymore. Fuck Liverpool. I don't want to watch any more footy. But just like Chelsea won tonight, didn't they? So the gap is 7 points, and there's 30 points to play for. So really, mathematically, it is very much doable. And like you said, like Jay said, there's no fans in the stadium, so any game, anyone can win it. All we need to do is start to get a little bit of form, start to trickle these points, get on the board, and then all of a sudden, 2 wins, and if the results go right for us in certain games, we're right back in there. I mean, it looks doom and gloom now, and the lineup against Fulham was a bit of a mad one, but I think it was just Klopp freshening it up, trying to give us some fresh impetus to try and see. He's trying different avenues to try and see what he can do to fix what's going on at the moment, and obviously it backfired and it didn't work, and then he's getting shit for it because it didn't work. But we've got a few games coming up where, like Jay said, it could change in a heartbeat. We just need to be ready to pounce when it does. Otherwise, we don't deserve anything, and we're going to have to just focus on Champions League and see how far we can get in that.
Yeah, I almost feel like this Champions League match is actually could be coming at a perfect time for us. I mean, like you said, we do have the international break coming up, but you know, if you look at the last time in the first leg against Leipzig, I was like, one of the biggest things that we've been missing in the Premier League is just intensity. And I think that against Leipzig in the first leg, we had so much intensity, and maybe this is actually coming at the right time. Get a win, then with the break coming up, go into the break on a positive note, get some rest for these guys, and then come out after that just balls to the wall with nothing else to lose. I mean, do you guys have that sense with homie? Like, do you think that this could be that spark that we've been waiting for in the second half?
You're hoping so. You're hoping that is the case, that all of a sudden, we see reminiscence of 2005 where, we were terrible in the Premiership, but then, in the Champions League, we were just a different animal. So, hoping that is the case, that, because we did appear in that first leg against Leipzig that we were more up for it, the intensity was there. Although we weren't amazing in attack, you did see more movement, more hunger in that than you have seen in the Premiership game. So hopefully that this kind of galvanizes the players and they actually think, look, we've got, once you get past Leipzig, it's 4, maybe 6 games to the final, maybe 4-6 games. So, it's not a massive leap to get to that final. And especially with it being in Istanbul, it can bring back good memories, give that kind of buzz around the club. And also, we heard I think it was Mane, was it before, after the Leicester game, saying that, we're focused on the Champions League. So hopefully, it brings back memories, brings back Barcelona, the Origi corner goal, so I just hope, obviously it's a shame we don't have the fans there because, I would definitely then say Liverpool gets to the final if we had the fans there, because that buzz would push us all the way there. Because, Liverpool on a European night, like I said, is a different animal. But obviously, hopefully, obviously the game's not at Anfield, so that obviously I think that's a boost for us because we just need to get away from there for the time being. And hopefully tomorrow, knowing us, we've got a 2-0 away lead, that we can come out tomorrow and just, have some kind of sharpness somewhere, And I think tomorrow, that's why tomorrow for me, on a Wednesday, for me, having Fabinho in midfield is key, because we need someone that's going to get in Leipzig's face, going to break up play, do those intelligent European fouls, get in their faces kind of thing. I think we missed that in midfield. I think we've been missing that because, when you look at, I've been saying the last few podcasts, when you look at the stats, against Fulham, that was Ginny's second tackle in 5 games he made. Jones against Chelsea made 0 tackles. Kate got 2 tackles against Fulham. Milner got 1. Those aren't great stats if you're looking at someone who's breaking up play, disrupting the game. You expect them to be producing better stats than that. So it shows again what we missed. So I'm hoping that Klopp does put Fabinho in midfield, and I think that's going to release our other players to express themselves more, get more of the game. Free up Thiago, free up Kate to be playing with Ginny, because they don't have to do so much defensive work. They can just focus on pressing and getting in Leipzig's faces. So I just hope I hope Wednesday it's just there's some kind of renewed energy that they've spoken to each other. So it's not going about the Premiership, but we can still win the Champions League. So that's what I'm hoping to see, energy.
Well, you brought in a good point there, because Leipzig, I mean, against Fulham, Fabinho came in the midfield, played 15 minutes there. Mick and Jake, you guys think that with Fabinho back in the midfield, or do you think Klopp's going to continue to play it safe and put him back at center
back? I'd be very happy if I saw him back in midfield. I think in the little cameo he had in the last game, it was nice to see, like you said, Holmes, someone in there who's just going to put the foot in and then simple passes out wide, keepers taking over. But I just don't think he will. I think we'll see Fab back in defence, to be honest. I mean, it is a shame because we do want to see him in midfield, and that is, like we said, that is part of the reason why we can play well one game and maybe win, and then we'll lose and then draw and whatever, because there's no consistency anywhere. Everyone's going centre half, centre back. Henderson the same when he was at centre half as well. So, and then you're missing Fabinho and Henderson from your midfield. That's why we're doing so poorly. Same with Van Dijk and obviously Gomez. There's loads of injuries there and loads of people out of position. So I would like to see him back in there, but I don't see it. I think he goes back into centre half just to kind of keep us, especially in a game where, I mean, we are 2-0 up, but Leipzig are very dangerous. So I think having Fabinho in defence makes us a bit more sturdy and not as prone to conceding goals. So I think that's why Klopp goes for Fab in defence, unfortunately.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what Mick said. I think we all expected a different partnership at centre half, didn't we, against Fulham? We didn't fucking get that. So I'm like, right, well, just when you think you can start predicting Klopp, you then can't predict him because you're thinking, right, well, we're getting Fab back. We've got fit centre halves, but he's still not bloody using them at centre back. So again, I don't know what Davies has done to warrant not being in the squad or whatever. I haven't got a clue. That's just something that hasn't come out, and it really does surprise me. I think we're all clamouring. Fulham was the ideal game for having that partnership, or at least him get his debut. But yeah, I'm just crying out for Fabinho to be back in midfield. I'd love to, but it's just not going to happen because, like Mick said, the stability is so important for this side right now. And I think the players that are playing in this football team right now will think, right, well, if Fabinho's on the pitch, that's great. The lads in the dressing room will probably say, let's put him at centre half. I think it will probably be an agreement that's where he should go, because they'll have that confidence that he's back there because he has played well, and he's arguably been our player of the season because of the job he's done, and we thank him for that. But yeah, I mean, maybe this is the time for Naby Keita to step in and do a little bit of dirty work that we know he's capable of. Because he did it for Leipzig in the Bundesliga in the past, hasn't he? So maybe he could be the dirty one in midfield and doing that, because it was really nice to see him back on the pitch. We all know what he's capable of. He obviously hasn't shown it, throughout his entire Liverpool career, which is an absolute shame. So maybe that's an option. Maybe we look at that as a positive. Like, right, well, if Fab's in midfield, at least Keita might get a start and do some of that dirty work. But yeah, it's heartbreaking, isn't it?
I can hope
but
so.
One of the things that we're just last one on that is, don't forget, Leipzig conceded 2 goals from their mistakes. It wasn't because we outplayed them for both goals. Let's remember that. Yes, all right, we did create chances against Leipzig, but Leipzig were very unfortunate because of their mistakes. So that's the thing that worries me going into this game. Sorry, Steve, go on. No,
it's perfect, because I want to get like more specifically into this game, but you brought up a good point with Davies, because Wahomey talks about it all the time. I want to get your guys' opinion on that signing, because Wahomey just thinks at this point, the fact that he hasn't even featured in a game yet, that it's clear that we brought him in because we got a good price on him and we're going to sell him for a profit this summer. Is it becoming apparent to you guys that that's the case here, or was he like, what the fuck is happening with this guy?
Go on, Mick.
I have no fucking idea, to be honest. That is the answer. I haven't got a fucking clue where Ben Davies is. I want to see Ben Davies, but I don't know where the fuck he is. That is the answer. We don't know. Klopp said, I think he said before the Fulham game, that Phillips and he also mentioned Ben Davies are both in training, and Davies is a good player. I think he said he's just learning the system. So I'm hoping that is what Klopp's doing. He's saving him because he wants them to learn the system a bit better. But then,
he did that with Robbo, didn't he?
Yeah, but then he's through Kabak in, and we're kind of crying out for a centre half. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. But we need to see him soon, I think, because I don't know. I've no idea. There's so many reasons why it could be. But if he signed him, I don't know if it was because he didn't think we were going to get Kabak, and then we did get Kabak, and then he's just there as an extra body. I don't know, but we need to see, because he played in the Championship for an all right team, and I spoke to a few Preston fans, and they said he's a good player. It's a different kettle of fish coming up to the Premier League and Champions League and whatever else. But if he's good on the ball and he's fat, he's got a bit of pace to him, then we need to just throw him in, because if he's got pace, that's the one thing we're lacking at the moment. And I just don't know. I thought we'd see him against Sheffield United. I thought that would be the perfect game. We would have all of the ball. We might see him in that. We didn't. And then I thought, maybe Fulham, this will be the game for him. And it wasn't. So I don't know. I don't know when we're going to see him. But we need to see what he's made of. We need to, because he's been brought to the club. So we need to see him on the pitch. Otherwise, these questions are just going to keep floating around.
I don't think we see him now. I think that's it. I think, like you said, Mick, Sheffield was the perfect game to throw him in. He didn't feature against Fulham. I don't think we see him now. I'm sort of on a level with what Holmes said, because it might have just been the case of, right, we're bringing in Kabak. Let's just get another one in. Let's just have the fan base get, a bit giddy. The fact that we're signing 2 centre halves and we've realised that that's an issue. Let's get 2 in, and then we've got that extra backup. That's how negative I've got at the minute. I'm thinking that the club might just do that for fucking publicity, which they won't. There's a reason why they bought him. But you got a point. It might just be a case of, okay, we've got him. He's played for Liverpool. He might get 1 game on last game of the season, 5 fucking minutes, and all of a sudden that puts his price up. Because we all know the genius that Michael Edwards is. So he could just get fucking sold on, or he could be another Sepp Vandenberg who just gets loaned out forever, and we never fucking see him. We never see 28 on the pitch again. So I don't know. I would just love to see him. I really would. But like Dave said, he probably doesn't exist. It was probably a figment of our imaginations. We were that desperate for another centre half. We probably just imagined him. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we all wanted Danny Ings back. So the club were like, oh, well, what was Danny Ings' squad number? It was 28. Right, let's just throw 28 around everywhere. Right, come on, just write a fucking random name. Go on, what's a random name? Go on, fucking Davis, that'll do. Go on. That's not what happened.
Probably. And that was what pissed me off, is because when you think about Fulham and how Fulham likes to play, we needed a little bit more pace in the back. And you saw consistently, especially in the first half, Nico and Reece Williams were just getting burnt. And obviously I think Phillips has been great for us. I think he's really stepped into his role well, but pace is not his strength. And that would have been the perfect opportunity, because that is Ben Davies' strength, ball playing and being able to keep up with guys. So it's clear that he's locked in Klopp's basement, and the key's been thrown away, because I just don't understand what has to happen at this point. Because at this point, if he doesn't play after the international break, after having that time to continue to practice and all of that, then like you guys said, we're never going to see him. Maybe just a quick cameo in the last game of the season for 5 minutes just to say that he played for the team. And then that ups his price tag by a couple mil. But also, Lost ID, we love you, man. Thanks for joining the chat again. You are the man. But, well, homie, anything to add? I know you've given your 2 cents on this quite a bit here, but
I don't think Davis is a Klopp signing.
Yeah, no.
Go on.
And that's why I think it was he's an Edwards signing, and probably analysis looked at him and thought, for the price we're getting, it's a good buy. And probably if it doesn't work out, we know Celtic were desperate for him, and they were complaining about how they just missed out on him because of us. We know Newcastle were interested in him, so we know that if we do sell him in the summer, probably get 5 million for him, maybe 10 million if you push it, because they'll still be interested in him for centre back. Especially if Celtic are going to need to rebuild now with Rangers winning the league. We're in the league, so they're going to be looking at Davies and thinking, well, look, Liverpool aren't playing him, let's try and get him. So I think he was purely bought as a stopgap, 6 month stopgap. If we need him, he's there, but if we don't need him, it doesn't matter. So as an emergency, rather than having to always what we were doing before, in terms of.
I think we need him now, though. Do you not think we need him now, Home? Not think we need he's not been bought because we've got Van Dijk and Gomez fit and ready, and he's just sat there warming the bench. We fucking need him. No offense to Reece Williams, but he should have been nowhere near that team.
Thank you.
That's not surprised. That's what I mean.
It's weird. It's so fucking weird.
Surprised. I didn't stand that.
I saw Reece Williams. Ben Davies. Yeah, if I was Ben Davies, I'd be sat there going, "Come on, Klopp. He's a good kid. He's young. He's going to learn. But I'm in my mid-20s. I'm fucking ready. Chuck me on that pitch against Fulham. I'll fucking show you what I can do. And then I'll make you force me to fucking play against Leipzig." So, but again, it's the same for anything, isn't it? It's the same for Andy Robles not getting arrested at the minute, because Tsimikas is just fucking, where's he gone? Do you know what I mean? He's another one. And there you go. Lost Eddie's hit the nail on the head. It's just, it's madness. It's absolute madness. And it's like you said, Reece Williams should have been nowhere near that squad, let alone the starting lineup. No offense to him or anything like that, but the lad's had some really good experience this season. Yes, all right, he's made some mistakes. He'll learn from it, and the kid will come back stronger for it. And that's what good footballers do. But right now is not the time for us to be making mistakes. We're not 12 months ago. We're not 20 odd points clear. We go, oh, we've lost one. It doesn't matter. We're still going to win the fucking league. Like when we came back from the sort of break that we had because of COVID, we were losing games. We go, I don't fucking care. What date did we pick up the trophy? Oh, okay, fuck it. Well, we lost against Arsenal. I'm not bothered. Fuck it. It's still champions. You know what I mean? We don't have that luxury now, do we? So it's frustrating.
Yeah. You said it all right there, but kind of focusing on shifting gears back to the game coming on Wednesday. I thought this game was coming at a good time for us, but I also just think about the position that Leipzig's in right now. They're probably going to be riding some confidence because I think since we beat them, they're undefeated in the Bundesliga. I think they're up to number 1 spot in the Bundesliga as of right now. But also, they have to come at us. And obviously, we know what our problems are against the low block. So, like, having a team that's going to have to take chances, have to come at us, like, Mick, like, do you think that, like, this could be kind of falling into our hands at the perfect time with them having to come out and play us? Like, that plays to our strength.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm grateful for that we got. Like Jay said, there were mistakes, but the fact that we got that 2-goal cushion is massive, because if this was 0-0, I would be severely worried about what would happen, but just based on what the shit we're playing at the moment. So, yeah, they're going to have to come out and score some goals, and that's the perfect setup, like you said, for us to then go and score some more. Because if we get one, then it's pretty much game over. So, yeah, we just need to. I keep saying we just need to batter someone and then hopefully like string a few good performances together and get a few just shitty 1-0 wins. I just want a 1-0 win. That's all I want. I want to score a goal as well, because we can't score a fucking goal at the moment. But yeah, we just it like you said, it is a perfect time to play them. If they're riding a good wave in their league and doing quite well, then they're going to come full of confidence and come out and think they can tear us apart. And they could well do. But I mean, it's like I said, it's a fresh competition for us, and we've got our. It feels like we can just block out the Premier League a little bit. That's what I'm hoping tomorrow, and we can. I keep saying tomorrow, Wednesday, and we can just put on a good performance and just kind of, because like all these legs are 2 games, and over 2 games, it doesn't matter how poor we're being in the league, we can still beat, I believe, any team in the competition still over 2 legs. I mean, we're missing, like I said, huge players, and like some Mane and players of that just aren't just completely devoid of confidence at the moment, and it's quite bad to watch when you know how good they are and the things that they're doing, like missing like air shots when they're 6 yards out, and you're just like, that is just mental when you compare it to the like previous years when he's just been just on fire in front of the goal, and you just want him to score some. But it could be a good time for Mane just to start to get back into form, and then yeah, hopefully this is a nice little respite for us on Wednesday.
What do you think, Wahomie?
Yeah, I think I echo what Mick said. So I think you know, like my one saving grace would be is that Leipzig's defense full of mistakes. You know, as good as people say up in Meccano, or the one who made a mistake, the other guy begins with M.
Konate. It's not Konate. It's Anyway, yeah, I know your point.
Yeah, so he's got mistakes in him, errors in him, and I think that's the one saving grace. As good as Leipzig are going forward, their defense is full of errors, you know. And the only thing that helps them is they've got quick centre backs, and up in Meccano or Konate they do play. That's it. Mukiele, he's got mistakes in him, but he was the one that allowed the ball to bounce. Then we scored. So that's my one saving grace, is the fact that they have those errors in their defense. But obviously, my concern is that Leipzig in that first leg, they had 2 chances. You know, Huang should have scored. He was put for 1-1. And, you know, so obviously we have to defend much better than we did in that first leg, and play much better, because, you know, Leipzig have to come at us, because, you know, they need an away goal, or they need to at least score 3 goals to go through. So they've got no choice. So that's the one saving grace. And I think Nagelsmann's an attacking manager, so he ain't going to go and play like some kind of defensive. He's going to go for the early goal, and if we get early goal, get through on the back foot, and then, you know, we've seen how Liverpool are. When we go goal down, we crumble. We're finished. So, you know, so for me is that, you know, I think it probably suits us better. You know, I'd rather be playing Leipzig than if we were playing Atletico Madrid or something like that. Then I'd be really scared, because I think, okay, my God, like, that's going to be a struggle for us. But Leipzig could open, it gives us a chance. And for me, I know we'll go to Atlanta later on, but I think for me, we played Atlantic forward line. We did when we beat Atlanta 5-0. Mm-hmm. You know, because they're going to be coming at us. So all I'm saying for us is we play counter-attacking football. and we just blitz them with Jota, Mane, Salah up top, and they will cause them loads of problems.
No, you said a lot there. A lot of good things in the chat too here. Kelvin would love to see Davies at least get a chance at that Greece. Hey man, one and we all, but we gotta find that key to the basement first so he can get out. That's for sure. But Chris Welch brought up a couple things here that I kind of want to touch on all three of these. I mean, to start, Jen, I'd love to get your opinion on this. If I was manager, I wouldn't see any smiles in training. If I'm there, I'd be giving them a bollocking with this atrocious form. Do you feel like we need to start cracking down on these guys, or do you think we kind of need to try to keep it light and try to at least bring joy back into the game?
I think it's been happening anyway. I really do. I think they had a bollocking after the first defeat. I think that when our home form dropped, the bollocking was there straight away. It's all about confidence in it, and it's how far do you keep kicking a person when they're down, and then at what point do you start picking them back up again? It's been a long time now where we haven't been performing. You probably would have got that first bollocking, but I think by now he's not bollocking them anymore. He's back to Klopp hugs. He's not seen doing that out on the pitch at the minute because one, we're not winning games, and two, if he's hugging the players on the pitch after the defeat, he's going to get fucking slaughtered in the press. All that stuff being done behind the scenes, and rightfully so. That's the Liverpool way, and that's the way it always should be. But you can't keep bollocking these lads every week now because they're down as it is. It needs a pick me up. It needs, reminding of what this team's done over the last couple of years. It needs reminding that look at that Champions Wall. You've changed that number 18 to number 19. You've changed it from 5 to 6 on a European Cup run. You've added a fresh fucking silhouette on there, and it's the World Club Cup, and you've won the first one. That's what this team needs. It needs reminding of all that shit that it's done. So I don't think a bollocking is what it needs. Okay, he's got a really good point about the form is atrocious. It absolutely is. But it's like, as a manager of any team in any job in the world, not just football, you don't kick your team when they're down. You fucking try and pick them up as best you can. And that's what the best managers do, and we have the best manager for that.
Spot on. I don't think any of us could say any better than that. Just to be clear there. But a couple other things that came in the chat here. Chris Welch had another question. Would you play Salah, Firmino, Mane, Jota all together and play a 4-2-3-1 with Fabinho and Jota and the two center mids? Fabinho and Thiago, two center mids. I know I try to change it up. Thiago was at his best at Bayern Munich in a 4-2-3-1 with Kimmich and Goretzka in the center mid role. Mick, what do you think on that? Because I think that it's time to take some risks and change it up. I would love to go to a 4-2-3-1, especially with Jota back. But what are your thoughts on that?
I would. The only thing is, I would love to see that when we've got full strength, because when we've got Van Dijk and Gomez or Matip, and then those four just bombing forward, free license, we would just tear people limb from limb. That would just be beautiful to watch. But at the moment, we're so patched up, it's difficult we get like square pegs and round holes at the moment. But it's difficult because if Fabinho doesn't play at centre half on Wednesday, I know it's going to be Williams, isn't it? Because I don't think Phillips isn't in the squad, is he? I
think Kevin's back there.
I don't know if it's changed for the knockout rounds, Mick. So he wasn't in the group stage, but I don't know if they can change the squad for the knockout rounds. Usually you can make changes to it, but let's just assume Fabinho's going to be at centre half, mate. He's going to be, isn't it? But
yeah, because it's. I don't know if Kabak's going to be fit. There's so many. Like I said, we keep getting people back and then people getting injured. But I would. Like Chris says there, I would like to see those four playing, because I think that benefits Bobby as well. Because when Bobby drops a bit deeper, that's what he does anyway when he plays as a number 9. So just give him that role. Let Jota or Salah go up top. Let Mane and it's free role for them, all four of them. When that happens, they can go where they want. They're that good of players that they can do it with their eyes closed. And I think the thing is, we need to get the best out of Bobby, I think, and I think sometimes playing him as the 9 just relentlessly all the time, and he's great at it when he's on form. And I think he's one of the players as well that when there's no fans in the stadium, he's not. It takes about 10% away from his game, because he's a performer, isn't he? He wants, like, you saw it in the Spurs game when we still had 10k in at Anfield, and he ran straight down to the Kop end, and he was like doing love heart and everything, and it's like, that was basically him saying, I've fucking missed you a lot. And now that we're not there again for any of these games, it's kind of like it doesn't help him in terms of his flair and his. I think even just like him running after the ball and chasing everything down, he's always a half step behind as well. So I would like to see him in the 10 role a bit more because I think that would suit him a lot. But I just want a reset on this season. I do want to see that 4-2-3-1 next season, and just it'll be exciting to watch if we do.
Yeah, I think that's where we're Go ahead.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to say, with Chris's other comment there about Thiago being at his best when it was a 4-2-3-1 with Kimmich and Goretzka. Obviously, it's a great observation, Chris, and he's absolutely spot on there. And the thing about the Thiago situation that we've got at the minute, and I'm glad I'm talking about this and not Mick, because Mick likes to talk about his bend a lot. And we've got no Thiago cam, and we don't know what Mick's doing off camera. When we talk about Thiago, you know what I mean. So, but Thiago is I've said this a few times, and Mick will get annoyed for me saying it again. He's a cherry on top of the cake type player. But that cake is only good enough for the cherry if all the layers are there. And right now, all the layers of our cake are not there. We've not got the cake that we've had for the last couple of years. So that cherry on top of the cake that he was signed for in the summer to give us that extra edge, that extra bit of flavour, has gone because the layers aren't there. Once those layers are back for next season, I think we'll see the best of Thiago. And I think what Chris has said there, he will be back to his best next season because he's doing 3 different roles. He's playing 3 different types of midfield fit every different game because he's fit. One time, Klopp wants him in the 6 to defend the back 4. That's not his game. Then he wants him doing the Wijnaldum role. That's not really his game. Then wants him doing his Thiago role, which he's known for, but he can't do it because we're not winning the ball back in midfield. So I think that we'll see the best of Thiago next season, definitely. But, his experience in the Champions League, especially after just winning it, and he'll be chomping at the bit to win it again, could be vital.
Just want to ask you guys a question. Like, do you feel that we should continue playing the high line, or is that a risk? Because Leipzig are fast going forward, and we got exposed against Fulham with the high line. Is that something that we should be? Because a lot of people said that we shouldn't be playing the high line right now. We don't have the players to do it. But do you think we should continue playing that, or do you?
I think the way we've been caught out a few times, Mick, I wouldn't play the high line. But again, it's detriment. That's not how we've played for years, is it? So you think we'll stick to the formula and we'll just try and learn from our mistakes. But I think you can probably risk the high line a little bit in this game because of the fact that we are 2-0 up. I don't know what you think about that, Mick, but it's a risk either way because we keep getting caught out that way, don't we? Certainly did loads of times in the last 2 games. Yeah,
I know it's difficult to. It's just because our system is just so structured, and he's still. I admire Klopp for keeping it the same, but it is quite bad to watch it sometimes when you're watching Nat Phillips or Reece Williams running towards their own goal, and they look like they're running in custard, and it's like you're just usually having Van Dijk or Gomez just burning through and just like knocking people out the way, and it's just they make it look effortless, and that's why those two are just so key to everything we do. But I don't know with the high line. I don't know if Klopp's got I don't think Klopp would ever change that. I think he sticks by his guns, doesn't he? He's like, well, we're playing this way. If we play, think of what he thinks. If we play that way and everyone's on form, everyone's on confidence, and the chances we create, I think he thinks we will win games, but we probably will concede as well. I think he's like, we'll try and win 2-1. I think he knows deep down we're going to concede somewhere. I think you can see that from all over the pitch where confidence is lacking. But I think if the front players, and that's where we're really lacking at the moment, the likes of Mane, Bobby, and whoever else, like Hotter's coming back, so that helps a little bit. Keita carries the ball forwards, that helps us as well. It's the front players that need to start scoring those half chances, or we just need a bit of luck to go our way with one to ricochet in, own goal, or off the post, and it's the keeper's head and goes in. Just something like that where it kind of changes the luck just 1 or 2%, and then like if say Mane scores, then he gets it again 5 minutes later. He's on the left hand side. He might cut in and have a shot, and it goes in. It's just those things, and not trying the natural game because they want to keep hold of the ball. They're being a bit too safe, and like I said earlier, when Liverpool are at the best, they're on autopilot, and we're not doing that at the moment. We're overthinking every single minute decision, and that goes against us, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And Chris Welch, your question on do you see Klopp changing from a 4-3-3 in the future? Maybe next year, but this year, like Mick already said, like we just don't have the right guys right now to change it up to anything else, to a 4-2-3-1 or play a 4-2-2-2 consistently or anything like that. I think right now we're kind of stuck with having to play a 4-3-3 just because of how bad our injuries are and just not having the right bodies. But Lost ID had a good point earlier that I wanted to get your guys' opinion on, because he thinks the catch is going to be the early goal. Liverpool needs to be consistent and not concede. We need to defend well and play well on the counter. And I do think that the first goals are going to be massive, because we know where the confidence is on this team right now. And if Leipzig comes out and gets a goal in the opening 15 minutes, I just hope we don't see a lot of heads going down and seeing a lot of the stuff we've already been seeing. But Bohemi, what do you think on that?
Yeah, I do think the first goal is going to be crucial. Like if Leipzig get it, then I said before, we've seen Liverpool when they go behind. Like it's a lot of feeling sorry for themselves. Like they seem as if we used to have that label of mentality monsters that seems to just have evaporated. We seem to lost the ability to win from losing positions as we did so well last season. So I think I hope we don't get the first goal down. I hope it's us that score first, because if we score first, then I think that kills the game for Leipzig. Because I don't see them scoring 4 then to go through. So I think it is for us. If we can get an early goal, then it just makes it easier for us. But even still, if we can get to half time and not conceded as well, then that's still great for us, because it puts all the pressure on Leipzig, because then they know 45 minutes they've got to go for broke. So as long as we don't concede, I think the key for us is just to get a foothold in that game, 30, 15, 20 minutes, don't concede, and then try to control the game. I think that's where, someone like Thiago and Junior are going to be crucial in terms of ball retention and keeping possession. They've got to use the ball well, control the game, and just make sure that, we're making Leipzig do a lot of chasing us around and just moving the ball. That's what's going to be key. So, yeah, I do agree. First goal is going to be crucial. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's us that get it.
Yeah, what we've got to be careful, though, is the fact that there's a team here that are so confident right now versus a team that's got zero confidence right now. And which one are we with the one that's got zero fucking confidence, when, for the last 3 or 4 years, we've always been the one with the highest confidence. So there's a part of me that just thinks, we're 2-0 up, but Jesus Christ, like you said, we're home, we can't afford to have that first goal conceded, because Leipzig are on fire at the minute and they're all confident that they think, do you know what, swerve this, we're going to do the double. They're a very confident side right now, and we've really got to be worried about them. 2-0 is this tie isn't over.
What do you think, Mick?
Yeah, it's I think I've seen a stat the other day, like we've only scored 1 goal in 2021 in the first half. I think if we start doing that a bit more, we'll start to be all right. I think if we do that tomorrow, I think it should be game over. If we score, maybe not in the first minute because that's too early, maybe like 40 odd minutes, something like that, towards the end of the half, get 1, and then we can. That's the thing. Once we start scoring some goals, like I said, these little increments of percentage-wise and confidence will start to creep back in, and we'll start to score some more goals. It's just there's fuck all there at the moment. They're absolutely shot. There's just like the only one that, like Salah, for example, like when he got brought off, I was like, we were all like, what the fuck's going on? Why is he taking off the top goal scorer? We need him on the pitch, and it is. Like he is the only one, and obviously that now Hot has come in. Those are the 2 that you trust at the moment. If they're through on goal, that they'll score. Unfortunately, you can't say the same for Mane. But like I said, if that can change tomorrow and he gets a goal, a much needed goal, like you seen it. I think it was the Chelsea game where Mane was coming out and for the second half, and Klopp was giving him a big hug, like saying, "Come on, Sadio. We know how good you are." And I think that kind of fed into why Klopp took Salah off and not Mane, because he's probably given him the G'ing him up at half time, saying how good he is, and then he takes him off. It's just it's like Jay. It's like what you said, Jay. You're building them up, and then you don't want to knock them back down again. Especially someone as good as Sadio Mane. We all know how good he is. For me, he's the best left winger in the world by a long way when he's on top form. But he's a shadow of that at the moment. And I think if we get, like I said, that him playing, even if one, I've always said this, even if one of our front 3 are in top form, we usually win football matches. And at the moment, it doesn't happen very often. So we just need to, try and get Mane into form, and I'm hoping that's on Wednesday night. So,
it seems like everyone thinks the first goal is going to be pretty important in this game. So if you're Klopp and you're Liverpool and you're coming up with the tactics of this game, how are you going out and approaching this? Are you going to sit back and play more of a counter-attacking style, or are you going to try and go out, get the first goal, and put this thing away? Because I agree with you, Mick. I think we need to start seeing the ball go back in the back of the net and get some confidence here. But it's also, we know what our issues are, and against a team that's on fire, do we want to take a couple of risks and potentially expose ourselves in the back?
Yeah, I know. I honestly don't. Like I said, I don't think Klopp's got. I mean, he's criticised for not having a plan B, isn't he? But we've got a load of variants of styles of play, but in majority, it is to high press, put teams under pressure, and score goals. That's our bread and butter. Really, that's what we're built on. So I don't see that. I don't see that changing on Wednesday. I think he will go, maybe not gung ho, but he will try and get the first goal, because he knows if that does happen, it makes it a huge task for them. He doesn't want to. I don't think we're the type of team, you're looking towards Rafa Benitez days when we used to go and play Champions League ties and just sit 10 men behind the ball and counter at real speed, and it was obviously fucking great tactics. It worked, but I don't think Klopp's got that in his. I wouldn't say he hasn't got it in his locker, but it's just not in his mentality to try and do it tactics like that, and that's why we love him, because it is that type of football that we love seeing when it works, and when we're in good form, we love watching it. So I think if we do, like I said, if we get an early goal, that's going to be perfect, and I think that's what he'll be hoping on tomorrow. And if not, the longer the game goes on, the more worried we're going to be, and if we're worried, then I mean, obviously the way the form's going, the players are going to be worried as well. Of course they are, because they're severely patched up, and they're wondering where the mistake's going to come from, where the fuck's the next injury going to come from. And it just all feeds into this mass hysteria about what bad thing's going to happen next. But if we get an early goal, that kind of soothes us a little bit, and we can just try and play. So the most important thing is us to try and play as naturally as we do when we're at our best. I think, like I said, it's as simple as just scoring a goal, and then that can change your fortunes. That's all it takes.
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I agree completely with Mick. We're going to have to be more defensive, because we can't put the ball in the back of the net, so we're going to have to win games by being extremely defensive at the minute. But again, that just seems like a million miles away. For anybody who remembers, when we won the Champions League in 2005, we mainly won it because we were good at defending. I mean, yeah, all right. We'd scored a few goals in the group stages. The Olympiacos game, we had to score 3 in the second half. Juventus, we scored 2 at home, but then we needed a fucking phenomenal performance away, 0-0. That was one of the best defensive displays I've ever seen from the Liverpool side. The Chelsea game, we went 1-0 up, and we defended after 4 minutes. We were defending for the rest of the fucking time. With our, and then in the final, we can talk about that all day. We can fill a fucking podcast on that. But once we went 3 for the rest of the time, we were on the back foot again, and we hardly got a chance. We were playing for penalties straight away. So it might just have to be that we have to take the spirit of that and try and win this fucking Champions League on our defence right now. But again, me saying that, I'm having an out-of-body experience going, fuck off, Jay. That's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Our defending, but because we're not scoring goals, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, we haven't got the defence, have we? We haven't got the defence to go, right, fuck them, we're going to just sit back. Like when we are Carragher and Hippier, you could go, right, we've got solid players here who are just no nonsense, just kick it out, win it balls in the air. We just haven't got that at the moment. And I mean, we've got some good players, like Nat Phillips has came in and been like we've said, boys, he's been terrific, hasn't he, since he's came in, to all that pressure on his shoulders to kind of be the main man kind of. And then Kabak came in and been all right, shaky here and there, and then you right on a 19-year-old Reece Williams. It's just, he shouldn't, like you said, Jay, he shouldn't be anywhere near this team at the moment. The fact that he must be pinching himself, or shitting himself every night, fucking thinking, I don't want to play tomorrow.
Hey, hang on a minute. Anthony Letalak played against Juventus and set Luis Garcia up for his goal in 2005. Let's not slag off the youth too much.
That wasn't an assist, though. That he just lumped that forward.
I know, he just lumped it. Yeah, he just lumped it. Yeah.
God, forgot about him.
Well, homie, what do you think on that?
I think it's I think I agree with what they're saying. Like Klopp only has one way to play. You know, like we don't have the players, like you said, to play like a defensive back on your walls kind of performance. So, you know, we're gonna have to play our normal game. But I think the key thing for us has been clinical. You know, we haven't been clinical recently, so we've got to take our chances when they do come. You know, there might not be many, but we have to be clinical. So, well, hopefully that Jota, you know, gets some after the Fulham game, has a bit more sharpness and can get a goal, because you know he's the one player I think our front three that makes different runs, that does something different the others do. Because the others they all make the same kind of runs, but Jota's different. Like he'll gamble to go to the back post, you know. So hopefully, with him playing, like we can get a goal and nick a goal. Otherwise, you know, I think for me this game's gonna be one of midfield for us. You know, like it's gonna be based on how good we are, you know, keeping possession. Because obviously, I don't think we're that good midfield at protecting our defense with no Henderson and Fabinho in there. You know, so for us, it's going to be like how good are we at keeping the ball and like, you know, stopping Leipzig from, you know, counter-attacking, you know, and breaking on us. You know, we did okay in the first leg, but we just got to defend even better than that, because you know this is now huge for us. You know, this is our season. You know, we go out on Wednesday, that's it, season over. You know, so we've got to like be on it from minute go, and be sharp in our passing, in our play. So I'm just hoping that, you know, that we can impose our game and be the one that's in control, rather than being the one that's dominated like we were against Fulham. You know, where we're there just doing kippy-uppies and passing the ball around as if it's a testimonial. So, so I'm just hoping that from the word go that we are on it. And if that, then we can impose our game and then get the 3 points. Get the win and go through. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be a long night.
It's not the league, Holmes. It's not the league. Delete the league out your mind. No.
It's
gone. Otherwise, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night if we're not on it for the minute go.
So for you guys, what are the key players? Whether you want to talk about the Leipzig side or just Liverpool side, who are the key players for either team to get to get the much needed win? You know, for Leipzig to make a comeback, whatever. For me, I think it has to be somebody in the front three playing like they can. I really want somebody to start creating chances. I want to see somebody just have the hunger and putting the ball back in the net. So for me, like the two guys I have circled is Mane, because Mane has been off form so long. I think if Mane and or Salah are play to their level, I think Liverpool wins the game. But what do you guys think? Who are the key guys for you guys in this match?
Go on, mate. You take the Liverpool ones.
Like I said, it's the front three. That's where the problem lies. We need to start scoring goals. Like it is just literally it is as simple as that. And Mane needs a goal to get that confidence back. Hotta's just come back into the squad, and like Holmes said, he makes those different runs that you just, when he picks it up and plays like a 1-2, it's the same as Naby Keita. Naby Keita's always looking for a 1-2 to progress further up the field. Like Curtis Jones, another one. He always tries that just to kind of break the lines, do little triangles, get in behind, and play those type of passes. So I'd say Keita, Jones, and Hotter and Mane. If all four of those play, I'd love it if they did. But I mean, Leipzig, I think they played 3 at the back, didn't they, in the last game? So if they do again and they kind of just go man for man with our front three, I think we can create a load of problems. It just depends what we go with, and if we go with the 3 or we go with 3 and then Bobby in behind. Because if that happens, then we're surely going to score a goal. I mean, I didn't think I'd ever be saying this. If I look back a year ago, that I'm just praying for us to score 1 goal. It's a bit mad, isn't it? But that's literally all we need. And I'm hoping Mane just the penny drops and he just fucking scores a couple, and then we win easily, and then he gets a bit of form and goes on to do. I think we've got Wolves next in the league, haven't we? And just goes on from there and just gets a bit of form, because that's what we need. So like Salah's still scoring goals, Bobby's in and out of form. It's Mane that is the one person that we need to play into form, and I think that's what Klopp's ideas as well, with keeping him on the field as much as we can to try and get him into that form. So I'm hoping that's the case on Wednesday.
I agree with you, Mick. I think Jota's the key for me. I think he starts on Wednesday. I really do. And well, is that just me saying I really want him to, and then Klopp's going to fuck me over and he's not going to start him? You know what I mean? But I think him playing a lot of minutes in the previous game is a sign of that. He probably will at least play a very, very good chunk of that game. So for me, it's Jota, as well as obviously the players that Mick said. From a Leipzig perspective, you've got to keep Forsberg quiet. You've got to keep Sorloth quiet and Angelino, because for me they're the three key players that you need to keep quiet. You keep them quiet, we win the game. Upamecano, we don't know what type of Upamecano we're going to come up against. We thought we were coming up against one of the best defenders in the world last time. He had a really, really bad game. He was very poor. So I don't know what type of player we're going to come up against. He's probably changed since then. He might have a fucking storm. I really hope he doesn't. And the hype isn't real. And we've saved ourselves, 80 odd million quid there, which would be great. But yeah, I think, like I said, if they play that back three again, I think we'll wipe the floor of them. Not in terms of obviously scoreline, because obviously, like we said, we can't fucking score a goal. But I think we'll be wipe the floor in terms of possession, comfort, and I think we'll be all right. But yeah, those three players I mentioned for Leipzig, keep them quiet, we'll win the game.
Holmes.
Yeah, I think they've got it slot on. The only one I might say for Leipzig is Sabitzer.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's a good player for them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think for us, it's Jota or Fabinho for me are the key ones, because I think Fabinho's going to have a big game at centre back if he's going to end up likely playing there. And I think for us, it's Jota. For us, I think we saw what he did against Atalanta in the away game. I think for him, like, if he can get some balls into him, he can cause some danger. So for me, I think he's the one that's going to be key for us tomorrow. So yeah, that's who I think.
I think this. Sorry, Steve. I was going to say this game suits Hotter completely, because they're going to, like we said, they're going to come out the space in behind for Hotter, who loves the balls in behind. If Thiago plays, he's gonna have a world of fun with those balls over the top to run into. So yeah, Hotter's gonna Hotter's gonna slaughter tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. Fucking Wednesday, isn't it?
Fucking Wednesday, dude. Hey, it's all right. It's all right. I wish it was Tuesday, to be honest. But yeah, Chris Welch also agrees. But yeah, lost ID. I think also Fabinho has to play a big role, whether it's in the center back spot or center mid spot. He needs to have a big game for us to definitely see this game through. But all right, so now getting to the lineup predictions here. Two things I want to know from all you guys: how you would line up tomorrow, and then if you think Klopp would line up differently, how do you think Klopp's going to line up? But well, homie, why don't you kick us off this time?
So it's me picking the team. I would go for Alisson, Robbo, Trent. If K-Bat's fit, I would start him. I'd start him to Phillips. I would put Fabinho in midfield next to Gini and I don't know. Actually, Fabinho. I think Gini will probably play. So I put Gini and I put Thiago. I don't think Naby's ready yet to start just now, even though he played against Fulham. I think he's still need to ease him in. And then up top, I'd play Jota, Salah, and Mane. How I think Klopp's going to play, I think he'll play Alisson, Fabinho, Phillips, Trent, Robbo, Gini, Thiago. I think he'll put Jones back in, and then he'll play. If Bobby's fit, depends how I don't know. Depends on how fit he thinks Jota is. But I think if Bobby's fit, Bobby probably starts with Mane and Salah. I think that's how he's going to go.
Yeah, I think Chris Welch, spot on. This is my Klopp lineup as well. If Kabak is fit, Alisson, Arnold, Trent, Kabak, Fabinho, Robertson, Thiago, Jones, Wijnaldum, Salah, Firmino, Mane. I think that's exactly what it'd be. I think if Kabak's not fit, it's definitely going to be Phillips back there. How I would do it would be having Kabak and Phillips in the back, I'd probably take out Wijnaldum because he looked absolutely battered against Fulham. And I'd have Fabinho, Thiago, Jones in the midfield with Salah, Firmino, Mane up top. I just think, but Bobby's ability to track back and his prowess, just tell him, I don't care. Don't play a 9, play a false 9 this game. Just stay cutting off passing lanes, win the ball back for us, sub them off at 60 minutes and bring on Jota. That's how I would do it. But Nick, what do you think?
Go on, Jay. You can go first.
Oh, okay, Jay.
Well, he did say Mick, but you know.
Oh, did you? Sorry, go on. Sorry, Steve.
Mick. Fucking hell.
Sorry, I didn't know, Steve. Sorry. Yeah, I'd love to see a 4-2-3-1. I would really love to see the front four, but it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's probably going to be what Chris says there. If Kabak's fit, it's probably going to be very similar to that. Yeah, maybe I think like Holmes says, Keita, because he got quite a few minutes last game. I don't know if he'll start this one. I'd love it if he did. I'd love to see 4-2-3-1 with Thiago and Keita as the 2, and then the front 4. I would fucking pay good money to see that, but it's never going to happen, is it? So yeah, what Chris Welch says, it's going to be pretty much that.
Yeah. For me, it's Alisson, Trent, Robbo, Van Dijk, Gomez. Gosh, I can't do that kind of shit.
Phil Neal,
Steve,
Al Manson.
Throw Chris Welch's comment again. Right. So I agree with Chris with this and what you said before, Steve. I think that's it. So I can't really add anything more to that. But what I want to say for Chris here, what's your excuse for not giving Kabak a capital K? Because you've got capitals on everybody else, but where's Kabak's capital K? I'm a bit OCD uncomfortable with that, Chris. What's going on there, lad?
It's kind of disrespect. It's disrespect.
Yeah. Oh, it's a dark horse thing. Kabak will be like the secret weapon. I like what he's done there. Kabak will come up with a brace tomorrow from corners. I love it.
I was gonna say, is he finally gonna get a header goal here? Is that how he's gonna kick it off for us? Just lock down debate for us? That'd be great. We'd absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. But all right, to close it out, fellas, give us our official predictions. And Jay, let's start with you this time.
2-1, because we won't keep a clean sheet. And I've gone 2-1 the last 4 or 5 games, and I'm going to get one right eventually. So, yeah, 2-1 is what I want it to be, but I think it'll be 1-0.
Liverpool?
Yes.
You don't know.
I'm glad you checked. Glad you checked.
Yeah.
Listen, Steve, if we had this conversation 12 months ago, we'd be like, well, of course it's Liverpool, but it could have been Leipzig 1-0, and we go through 2-1 on away goals. So, yeah. So just fucking win the game. I don't give a fuck about the score. Just win the bloody game.
Yep. Nick or Wahome, whichever one of you guys wants to go next.
I'll let Mick go.
I'm gonna go for another 2-0. You know, I am. I'm just going for it.
Lad.
Going for it.
Fucking right, lad.
Bit of symmetry. 2-0, 2-0, 4-0. Fuck yous. Let's just do it. Like I'm hoping. I keep saying this every time, that this will be the game where, like I said, the players will just fucking kick the ball in the back of the net and we'll celebrate the goal again. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I do think they'll come out, and I think we'll pick that off because they need to come out and score goals, and that, like we've touched on, that plays perfectly into our hands. So yeah, going for the 2-0.
I'm going to dare to dream, and I think we're going to see a Liverpool backlash after everything that's happened. I'm going 3-0 Liverpool.
Fucking the fucking gigantic bollocks on you. I love it. I love it.
That's positivity from a homie I haven't seen in a very long time. Now, the key question is here, Wahome. Do you have Bobby scoring? Because that's also one of your favorite calls, is having Bobby score. So is he going to score?
I'm going to go the front three score. All of them.
You son of a bitch.
I think you need to have us on the show every week, because I think we're rubbing off on Holmes. Yeah,
I think so.
I'm gonna start wearing this shirt now.
There we go. Chris Welch is gonna love that. He loves the throw. He loves that throwback. He loves that. He loves that throwback. But we have actually the second Yank here tuning in. Andrew, here he is. He thinks it's going to be 5-2 Liverpool aggregate, which means it's going to be a 3-2 scoreline. So Thanks for joining us, Andrew. Hope your studying's going well, mate. But yeah, so I guess fuck it. I was gonna say 3-2, that motherfucker. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say 3-1 Liverpool. I think Mane gets a brace, and if Kabak plays, he's getting on the goddamn score sheet. He's gonna get that header goal I'm fucking waiting for. Hope so. But hey, at least we can close out with some positivity. We all have a Liverpool win. We all have us going to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And really, this is going to be it, guys. Dare to dream, like what Homie loves to say. This is going to be the match that kickstarts the second half of the season that we've been waiting for months. But it's about to come in. Everyone in the chat, you guys are fucking awesome. We absolutely love you guys. If you haven't subscribed to the Kopite Official Podcast, go check it out on their YouTube channel. Obviously, if you like us, you're going to love them. We love these guys. We always talk to these guys. Go give them a follow. Tune into their stuff every single week. It's absolutely awesome. I know I do. But we'll be back after the match for the post-match reaction show. Mick and Jay, this was so much fun. I'm so appreciative of you guys doing this collaboration with us. This is so much fun, and definitely cannot wait to do it again with you guys.
Anytime, mate. Thanks for having. I'll speak for me. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Cheers for inviting us on, boys. It's been nice, and we'll get you onto ours, and we'll do another collab, and we'll keep doing these because keep the homie positivity up. So we'll do one a week as little therapy sessions for them to keep.
There we go.
Yeah, dude, I need that.
There we go. And Chris Welch, and I go subscribe to them now. That a fucking boy, Chris. That's why we love you, man. Sorry for all the F-bombs at the end here. I just got so excited for so many W's. But otherwise, up the Reds. We'll be back to the post-match reaction right after the match. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Reds.